The American bullfrog is an amphibian that spends the majority of its lifetime in an aquatic environment that has terrestrial adaptations such as their elongated hind legs that allow them to jump long distances on land. Aquatic adaptations include countershading, where an animal has a dark dorsal and light-colored ventral sides. This adaptation against predation is seen in fish as well as mammals, birds, and reptiles. We address the morphology of the frog by looking at the brain, its sensory organs, method of respiration, reproduction, and its cardiovascular system. Firstly, we're going to examine the structure of the frog's brain.
That's going to be where the frog's brain is located, but we tried to get in there and things didn't go very well. So we're going to explain the frog's brain on this little diagram. So this little yellow section is the cerebrum, the cerebral cortex, and you can see that it's very large, which suggests that it has good senses, and this is its optic nerve, its optic bulbs, They're very large compared to the brain, so his eyesight is going to be very good. But the cerebellum, this pink part and that part, are very small, almost non-existent in the frog. So that's going to be its motor control, its coordination and balance. And then the midsection of the brain is also really enlarged, and that's the things that are sort of not the autonomous like in the brainstem, but you can see in the brainstem that it is very large compared to the brain. So the autonomous functions like breathing and jumping and things like that are going to be very easy, just second nature for the frog. So that's all going to be part of its life cycle, and the way that it sees things is going to be helpful in catching its prey.
So this is going to be the tympanic membrane and the external nair to help him breathe.
His eyes have nictitating membranes on them to let him see underwater. So here you can see his little heart, her little heart. This is going to be the left atrium, the right atrium, and that's the ventricle. So this left atrium is part of the pulmonary system, which pumps oxygenated blood between the lungs and the heart, and this is going to pump blood to the lower part of the body. The ventricle is going to pump blood all over the body. So this ventricle is going to be the bigger and more muscular part. So this is the three-chambered heart of the amphibian. It's three-chambered in a way that the ventricle is single, like fish.
So for the respiratory system, the frog is going to breathe in through its external nair, which is going to be right here, this little nose type thing. It's going to go into its internal nair, which is a little hard to see, but it's going to be in here at the top of his mouth. And the frog doesn't have a diaphragm, so it's going to use muscles to move the air down to its lungs. These are going to be right here, but you can see that they're not very well developed. The lungs aren't well developed. The frog is also going to have to use cutaneous respiration, where it just breathes in through its skin, and it also does this when it hibernates.
We are going to be talking about the urogenital system, where in frogs they have a cloaca here, which is where their excretory and reproductive system meet together. We have the ovaries, and this is where the eggs leave, enter the oviducts, and they're held in the uterus. It hugs the female in a process called amplexus, where the sperm is released and the eggs are released into the frog life cycle.
So we have fertilized eggs, and they're going to turn into larvae, which is going to turn into a small tadpole. See, you can see the tadpole just keeps on forming, and it grows 2 legs, 4 legs. It has a little tail bud. As you can see, the tail bud's going away. And at this point, the metamorphosis is complete.